Hello guys and welcome. Not allowed to start, guys. Tom's got to put the 50 mil on. Look, the 50 mil's over there. Can you see me? Hey. Hello guys and welcome to another video. My name's Mark. I'm an entrepreneur and property investor, and in today's video, it is our subscriber dividend giveaway. So we're going to be giving away some money. But what I like to do on these videos is also talk a little bit about some ideas that have come to me in the last month. And this month, I've really been pondering the importance of having a plan. And what I want to do is just give a couple of ideas to people, depending on where you are in the cycle of wealth creation. I want to make it relevant to people who may be just starting, as well as people who maybe have a well-paid job, and then maybe people who've got a little bit of money behind them. So I want to give 3 ideas, 3 sort of roadmaps, things that I would think about if I was creating a plan in order to get the end destination of becoming wealthy. And then hopefully everybody watching this will gain some sort of relevance to it, no matter where you are on that spectrum. So if you like this sort of video, if you like this sort of content, please give it a big thumbs up. It really does help me out with the algorithm. And if you haven't already subscribed, why not consider subscribing? You are watching our subscriber dividend portfolio giveaway today. We are going to be giving away £20.96, which is the dividend. Well, in fact, Tom, have you put the image up? The dividend was 96p. However, I have said that I will do a minimum of £20 until the amount surpasses that. And I expect that to happen in the next couple of months. Remember, we've only been doing this for a couple of months and we've currently got £9,500 in our dividend portfolio. It is growing by £2,000 every single month, and I expect that to be dividending out way more than £20 in the not too distant future. So guys, let's talk about a plan. First of all, maybe we're going to talk a little bit more about Tom. Now, Tom has some debt. Not a lot of debt, to be fair, but he has a little bit of debt. He has a good job. He has the opportunity to earn overtime. He enjoys what he's doing and he enjoys his life. And he has costs that are probably, would you say, Tom, about your income, your costs? Yeah, so pretty similar to most people in the UK, I would say, of his age bracket. His costs are about the same as his income. Now, the first thing I think anybody in Tom's situation should do is try and work out where they want to be in 5, 10, 15 years, okay? That's the first thing to understand is what is the destination looking like for you? So if, for example, Tom's destination was to have £500,000 of investable assets, and with that £500,000 to have about 50 grand a month coming in passively, if we did £500,000 in index funds, that, not 50 grand a month, 50 grand a year. And his target was to have £50,000 a year passively coming in. Well, 500 grand in index funds would give him approximately 10% per year, 50 grand. Then that would be our target, £500,000 of investable assets. It's much easier for us to then walk back those 10 years and go, how would we achieve that using compound interest, using a little bit of overtime, maybe reducing our expenses a little bit, maybe getting paid more by doing more, becoming more valuable, more skills, other side gigs. There's lots of things we can do in order to get to that end destination. But the first thing is to recognize what the end destination is. Now, if Tom, his only thing, he's got a passion in his belly, he cares about money more than anything, success, that is his drive. He needs to create a company that's going to be worth at least 100 million in the next 10 years. Well, actually, having a job is never going to work for him. He needs to create a company. So we really, really need to be specific about the end destination. Because creating a company, I'm not going to make it sound as easy as, oh, well, he can create a company and then get 100 million. No, this comes with more hard work, more risk. It comes with more effort, more skills are required. There are so many more things that are going to go on in building this company to get to the hundreds of millions than maybe I'm making it sound like. There's so much more, of course. And then there's the risk of failure, right? If you get a job, if Tom's job, at the end of the month, he gets paid regardless of how he does in his job, really. Ultimately, this video will be good. Of course it will. But at the end of the month, he gets paid. When you're building a business, that's not necessarily the case, right? So there's lots of considerations for this, but knowing the end destination is key. Then you can build an investment strategy or a business building strategy. Tom's not going to invest his way to 100 million in 10 years. Tom would have to build a business. But could he invest his way to 500 grand? Absolutely. A million? Maybe. Hard work, overtime, all those sort of things, it's certainly possible. And what does he want his lifestyle to look like? Does it need to be 5 years, 10 years? Can he wait 15? Is he planning to have children? A plan is key, and I often hear young people planning nights out. They plan holidays. Tom was talking to me about travel recently, but you've got to plan your life as well. It's far more important to plan your life than it is to plan a holiday. So I implore everybody, regardless of where you are, to create a plan. So if I was just starting out, first of all, I'd recognise where I wanted to get to. I would then start to build a roadmap, whether I wanted to invest my way there, whether having a job, a side hustle, some overtime, what would I need to do in order to get there? And I would probably look to do it in the way that either was most fun or most guaranteed. You know, the outcome was most guaranteed. If I only wanted to invest £500,000 in 10 years, I could create a very guaranteed way of doing that within a working environment. It wouldn't be very much risk. I could make it fun. I wouldn't have to take on the huge amount of risk starting businesses have attached to them. And let me make no bonds about that. As an entrepreneur, I recognise there is a huge failure rate for businesses. So please accept that. It's 70% in the first couple of years. That is because it's incredibly hard, right? That's not because it's easy and it's not because everybody's rubbish. It's because it's incredibly hard. That's what I would do if I was just starting out. Recognise where I am now, recognise where I want to get to, work a timeline that would work to get there, and then commit to the outcomes. You know, this year I want to invest £500 a month. Okay, well, I need to make sure I do that. Next year I want to invest £1,000 a month. Well, this is what I need to do in order to get there. And then by doing that, you will build the roadmap to get you to the end destination. Now, what I want to do now is I want to draw the subscriber dividend, and then I want to get on to what I would do maybe if I was in my 30s or 40s. And maybe I've got a good job or a business that's turning over a bit of money. Maybe I'm earning 50 to 100 grand a year, and I've got an opportunity in front of me. I've got a family, but I know that I want to do more. There was only 11 comments this week, which means that you have basically a 10% chance of winning. And if you haven't already commented on this video, make sure you do so that you are entered into next month's draw. We're going to draw it right now and see who comes out on top. Here we go. And it is Mark John. So Mark John, you will be getting £20.96, and I guarantee that next month we're going to start seeing these dividends grow. As I said, I'll always underwrite it by £20, but moving forward, we know that this dividend is going to start to grow as we've got 9.5 grand in there now. That is going to start producing dividends somewhere in the region of £30, £40 a month very, very shortly. And I'll put another 2 grand in next month. So let's get back to the video. So now let's take somebody who maybe is earning 50 to 100 grand a year. They have got their first home, they're in their 30s or 40s, but they haven't started investing. What would I do in that instance? Well, it's going to be no surprise on a video about a plan, I would create a plan. Again, you need to know where you want to get to, but this time you've got some assets, right? You've got your home. Now you need to understand whether you're going to look to raise equity in order to invest. Now there are ways you could remortgage your home. Obviously mortgage rates are going up, debt's becoming more expensive, but that's not to say it's not a good idea. If I could borrow at 5% and make it 10%, how much should I borrow? Probably an unlimited amount, because I'm going to make a margin. So in my mind, it's start off with where you want to get to. Let's say, for example, my name's Dave. I want to get to 10 grand a month of passive income, and I want to do it over the next 10 to 15 years. What vehicle do I want to use? Well, everybody who watches my channel knows it's property for me and it's index funds. Those are the only two things I would look at. So property, I would look to make money in this market when I buy. So if I could buy something that's worth £100,000 today, and I could pay £80,000 for it, then I would make £20,000 on paper, not right now, but on paper, the day I bought it. And that would become my strategy. It would be to borrow money down, if I could, from my assets, in order to fund my ability to make big chunks of money very quickly. Now let's remember, if you did 2 deals like that in a year, that'd be £40,000 of equity made. Now, if you're earning 50, 60, 70,000 pounds a year, maybe your take home is only 35 of that, right? 50,000 pounds salary, your probably take home is only about 35. So you'd be making more than your job by moving money around. Now there is some interest to pay, there's some fees, there's all these other things to take into consideration. And I do other videos on this subject matter. But I would create a plan that would allow me to meet my objectives. And if that I had some capital tied up in a home, I would do the maths and work out whether it was right for me. The other thing that I can never know in a video and never portray to you is your attitude to debt. I'm very comfortable with debt. You might not be. I would never recommend somebody taking on debt which meant that they couldn't sleep at night, weren't comfortable with their life. It's incredibly important that you're in a good mindset, especially if you've got a good job and you're working hard, you've got family, you've got kids. It's really important that your mental health is as good as your physical health. And for that, some people just aren't meant to ever go into debt. I know plenty of people that it would just make them physically sick. So it's incredibly important to recognize your characteristics. And I would hope between 30 and 40, you know how you feel about debt. But again, no different to the person just starting out. Create an end destination, whether it's invested assets, whether it's outcome, whatever it might be. And you can make it really simple for yourself. You could say in index funds or property, it's very, very reasonable to expect a 10% return. So if you wanted to just do net worth and say, I want a net worth of about $1 million, that should provide you with about 10 grand a month. Well, about 8 grand a month because it's 100 grand a year in 10% return. So you can do the maths very, very simply, and you could say the monthly amount, or you could go for the net worth amount. Either way, there are tax efficient ways of doing it. The more you wrap it up in wrappers like ISAs, the more you wrap it up in capital gains within properties that you don't sell, you refinance, the more tax efficient things become. So that's what I would do if I was in that situation. Now, the final situation I wanted to talk about were people that maybe had a big lump of money. Maybe they're in their 40s, 50s, 60s, got a big lump of cash, they don't know what to do with it. Well, here's what I would do. Again, I would create a plan. I would start with what's the end destination. Maybe you have £500,000 and you want to generate 4 or 5 grand a month. Well, index funds aren't going to do that in terms of dividend income. They will, on average, do that with growth and dividends combined. Maybe you want to do a mixture of dividend funds and property. Maybe you want to make sure you're diversified globally with index funds that cover the whole world. I would, again, start with that end destination, but I would then look at how I would diversify myself in order to make sure that I had as much certainty of the outcome, because I have less time for risk. So I guess when I'm younger, I've got more time for risk, haven't I? I've got more time to make up any mistakes. When I'm a bit older and I've got a bit more assets behind me, I've got more money and less time. So in that instance, I probably want more safety and security. But guys, let me know your thoughts down below. The importance of creating a plan is evident for me. The people I see successfully either do their business or their investment journey generally have a really good idea of what they're going to do and how they're going to get there. And then they're just an unstoppable force making sure they get there. But guys, as I said, let me know in the comments your thoughts. I will see you on the next video. Comment on this video so that you're in the next draw. Only 11 entrants. You've got a 10% chance of winning 20 quid. Why not? I'll see you on the next video. Cheers, guys.